everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to share with you 15 facts about Afghanistan. Fact number 1. Afghanistan is a landlocked country located in southern Asia bordering China, Iran, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. That means it has no access to the sea, which is a bummer for beach lovers. But on the bright side, it also means no sharks, pirates, or tsunamis. Fact number 2. Afghanistan is believed to have been inhabited for as long as 100,000 years, since Paleolithic, Old Stone Age times. That's a long time, folks. To put that into perspective, that's before the invention of fire, wheel, writing, and TikTok. Fact number 3. The earliest evidence of human occupation, the remains of a Neanderthal skull, date to around 30,000 years ago. That means that Afghanistan is one of the few places where you can find traces of our ancient cousins. But don't get too excited, they're not around anymore. They went extinct about 28,000 years ago, probably because they couldn't handle the harsh winters, the fierce wars, or the spicy food. Fact number 4. Afghanistan literally means the land of the Afghans. Afghan was originally referred to the Pashtun people, and the suffix stan means place of or country. So, basically, Afghanistan is a country of Afghans. That's pretty straightforward, right? Unlike some other countries that have confusing names, like Iceland, which is not made of ice, or Greenland, which is not very green. Fact number 5. Alexander the Great conquered most of Afghanistan around 330 BC, where he married Roxanne, also known as Roxana. Roxanne was a beautiful princess of Bactria, a region in northern Afghanistan. She was so charming that Alexander fell in love with her at first sight and married her on the spot. He even named a city after her, Roxana, which is now known as Balkh. Talk about a romantic gesture. But sadly, their love story didn't last long. Alexander died a few years later, and Roxanne was killed by one of his rivals. I guess you could say that their relationship was doomed from the start. Fact number 6. Britain repeatedly tried to conquer Afghanistan during a series of conflicts known as the Anglo-Afghan Wars, 1839–42, 1878–80, 1919. But they failed miserably every time. Afghanistan proved to be too tough, too rugged, and too independent for the British Empire. The Afghans fought back with courage, cunning, and guerrilla tactics. They also had the advantage of knowing the terrain, the climate, and the culture. The British, on the other hand, were clueless, arrogant, and overconfident. They underestimated the Afghans and paid a heavy price. Fact number 7. The flag of Afghanistan has black, red, and green vertical stripes and a central coat of arms. Black represents the dark ages of the past, red for the bloodshed in the independence struggle, and green for the hope and wealth of the future. The coat of arms includes the Arabic inscriptions Afghanistan, there is no deity but God. Muhammad is the messenger of God, and God is great. It also includes a mosque, 2 flags, sheaves of wheat, and the date 1298 in the Islamic calendar, 1919 in the Gregorian, the year Afghanistan achieved independence. That's a lot of symbolism in one flag, don't you think? But it's also a very beautiful and unique flag, unlike some other flags that are just boring and plain, like Japan, Canada, or France. Fact number 8. During the 20th century, Afghanistan had more changes to its national flag than any other country. The flag was changed up to 19 times. That's a lot of changes, folks. That means that every few years, the Afghans had to get used to a new flag, a new anthem, and a new identity. That must have been very confusing and frustrating. Imagine if you had to change your name, your clothes, and your hairstyle every few years. How would you feel? How would you cope? How would you recognize yourself in the mirror? Fact number 9. Afghanistan was invaded by the USSR in 1979 and mired in a 10-year conflict between various Mujahideen groups and Soviet forces. The Soviets wanted to prop up a communist regime in Kabul, while the Mujahideen wanted to resist the foreign occupation and defend their Islamic faith. The war was brutal, bloody, and costly. Between 560,000 and 2 million Afghans were killed, 6 million became refugees. The Soviets also suffered heavy losses, both in lives and money. They eventually withdrew in 1989, leaving behind a devastated and divided country. The war is often considered the Soviet Union's Vietnam, as it drained its resources, morale, and reputation. Fact number 10. Following the USSR withdrawal, Afghanistan was embroiled in a devastating civil war that saw the Taliban take power and impose strict Islamic rule. The Taliban, which means students in Pashto, were a radical Islamist movement that emerged from the madrasas, religious schools, in Pakistan. They claimed to restore peace, order, and morality to Afghanistan, but in reality, they brought more violence, oppression, and misery. They banned music, movies, sports, education for girls, and any form of entertainment. They enforced harsh punishments, such as stoning, amputation, and execution, for anyone who violated their laws. They also harbored and supported terrorist groups, such as Al-Qaeda, which led to the 9/11 attacks on the USA. Fact number 11. Afghanistan was again invaded in 2001, this time by a US-led coalition following the September 11th attacks on the USA. The coalition aimed to overthrow the Taliban regime, capture Osama bin Laden, and eliminate the terrorist threat. They succeeded in toppling the Taliban, but failed to find bin Laden, who escaped to Pakistan. They also faced a prolonged insurgency from the Taliban and other militant groups, who continued to fight for control of the country. The war lasted for 20 years, making it the longest war in US history. It also cost more than 2,400 American lives, more than 100,000 Afghan lives, and more than $2 trillion. The war finally ended in 2021, when the US and its allies withdrew their troops, leaving behind a fragile and uncertain situation. Fact number 12. Afghanistan is famous for its pomegranates in Asia. Pomegranates are a delicious and nutritious fruit that have many health benefits. They are rich in antioxidants, vitamin C, potassium, and fiber. They can help lower blood pressure, prevent infections, and fight cancer. They are also a symbol of fertility, prosperity, and abundance in many cultures. Afghanistan produces more than 500,000 tons of pomegranates every year, making it the third largest producer in the world after Iran and India. Fact number 13. Afghanistan is also known for its carpets, which are considered to be among the finest in the world. Afghan carpets are handwoven by skilled artisans using natural materials such as wool, cotton, and silk. They have intricate designs, vibrant colors, and unique patterns, reflecting the diverse and rich culture of the country. They are also very durable and can last for generations. Afghan carpets are highly valued and sought after by collectors, decorators, and connoisseurs around the world. They are also a major source of income and employment for many Afghans, especially women and children, who make up most of the carpet weavers. However, the carpet industry also faces many challenges, such as low wages, poor working conditions, child labor, and competition from cheaper and synthetic alternatives. Fact number 14. Afghanistan has a large and mostly unexploited wealth of mineral resources. Since ancient times, traditional metals such as gold, silver, copper, iron, and lead have been mined and traded in Afghanistan. But in recent years, modern surveys have revealed that Afghanistan also has huge deposits of rare earth elements, lithium, uranium, and other valuable minerals. Some estimates suggest that the total value of these resources could be as high as $3 trillion. That's enough to make Afghanistan one of the richest countries in the world, if only they could extract and export them. But unfortunately, there are many obstacles and challenges that prevent this from happening, such as lack of infrastructure, security, governance, and transparency. Not to mention the risk of corruption, conflict, and environmental damage. So, for now, Afghanistan remains a poor and war-torn country with a hidden treasure buried beneath its soil. Fact number 15. Afghanistan is home to the world's largest Buddha statues, known as the Bamiyan Buddhas. The Bamiyan Buddhas were two colossal statues carved into the cliffs of the Bamiyan Valley in central Afghanistan. They were built in the 6th century AD, during the peak of the Gandhara civilization, which was influenced by Buddhism and Greek culture. The statues were 53 and 35 meters tall, making them the largest standing Buddha statues in the world. They were also decorated with colorful paintings and jewels, and surrounded by a complex of monasteries, caves, and shrines. The Bamiyan Buddhas were a marvel of art, architecture, and engineering, and a symbol of the rich and diverse history of Afghanistan. They were also a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a major tourist attraction. But sadly, they were destroyed by the Taliban in 2001, who considered them to be idols and an insult to Islam. The demolition of the Bamiyan Buddhas was widely condemned by the international community as a barbaric act of cultural vandalism. Since then, there have been efforts to reconstruct and preserve the site using 3D technology, laser scanning, and crowdfunding. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about Afghanistan. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.